What is the weirdest NSFW fact you know? Brazil nuts are sexually transmissible. As in, if a man eats Brazil nuts and then ejaculates into a woman who is allergic to Brazil nuts, she will have an allergic reaction. Hot water will denature the proteins in semen, making it lumpy and sticky, like frying an egg. Use cold water for cleaning it off skin, surfaces, out of hair. Governor Ratcliffe of Pocahontas fame was flayed alive by the Powhatan using mussel shells. They skinned his entire body, saving his face for last. Then he was burned at the stake. Priapus Link is a minor Greek god of livestock, farmers, and ducking gigantic penises. Please look up a picture of him. Edit for those few still finding this. Priapism is named after him. He tried to rape Hestia in her sleep, but a donkey came up behind him and scared him, and he lost his erection, which woke her up. Ever since that day he had a burning hatred of donkeys. During World War I, stees were incredibly common, and some soldiers purposely tried to get infected so that they could be honorably discharged and avoid the trenches. Some were ordered to be chased and threatened with punishment, but it did not really stop them. They would transfer pus between penises with matchsticks. Edit in case anyone wants to learn more about this. I recommend this Q Medical Center link article. Olympic Village during the games is basically a massive duck fest. In 2000, the athletes were provided with a total of 70,000 condoms, and they had to order an emergency shipment of more because they ran out. Cats' penises are weird. They are short and spiky. The explanation for the spikes: female cats do not ovulate unless they are stimulated by the spikes. This is called induced ovulation. With every thrust of the penis, female cats produce an egg. Because of this, there can be different fathers in the same litter. I don't know about you, but I found it really interesting and kinda weird. I have 2 cats from the same litter and you can tell they had different dads. One is a giant short-haired ginger and the other is a small long-haired multicolored kitty. Napoleon's penis was removed by the doctor doing the autopsy and preserved. It has been sold and resold to many buyers. It was purchased by a professor of urology at Columbia University in the 70s and passed on to his daughter when he died about 15 years ago. She is the current owner. Peyronie's disease is a condition where scar tissue forms inside the penis, causing it to be bent when the patient has an erection. It must be painful. Edit: some curve on the schlong is normal. I remember that the images that were shown to us in class had dongs bending and curving at ridiculous angles. Had to drive my 75-year-old dad to and from the procedure to fix this. This was absolutely 8x more awkward than you imagine it to be. Edit to add that he was in a panic to get the procedure done before flying to Kenya to meet his online girlfriend. Edit to: yes, he met her. No, it ended. Yes, it was because she only wanted money. No, he didn't. He care and has made many similar trips since then. There is a group of flatworms that live on the ocean floor. They are hermaphroditic and can supply sperm to others or give birth themselves if they are fertilized by others. All individuals want to be the one to supply the sperm as it is much less resource intensive than growing your own babies. So they use their sharp penises to penis fence with others to be the first to inject the other with sperm. There is some great penis fencing videos online. Take a look. There is a load of weird and wonderful facts out there on sex competition in animals. The record for the most orgasms in 1 hour by a woman is 134 link, whereas the same record for a man is 16. How would somebody even count that? At 134 per hour, that is more than 1 every 30 seconds. How would you know when the 20th one is ending and the 21st one begins? The famous song Mana Mana from Sesame Street The Muppet Show. Sesame Street The Muppet Show was actually composed for an Italian softcore porn movie. Edit: here is the original track. Link. You edited Sesame Street out, but it really was also in Sesame Street. I know this because as kids, we would recite that tune frequently. This was years before The Muppet Show. And yes, I noticed that tune watching some funky weird porno clip. You had have to spin a 6-inch penis of average width at about 130,000 RPM to get it to set ablaze. Learned that in physics class. Edit because this blew up and some people seem concerned. This was in a class of 18s and over, and the teacher did not explicitly say he was working this out for a dick, but for a cylindrical object after someone brought up a Reddit post they saw about this from ages ago. It was just a minute of banter in the class, not the topic of the lesson. Some species of sea cucumber have evolved to have teeth in their asshole to keep other sea creatures from living inside their anus. Edit wow my first awards. Thanks. Edit 2 wow thank you guys so much for the love. I'll earn this and many other sea cucumber facts from this video link and now you can too. Another fun fact, sea cucumbers breathe through their assholes by sucking water inside. Their lungs are located in the rear section of the body. A woman wearing warm, fluffy socks is 30% more likely to orgasm than she is without them. Bizarre but true. Source link. Weird NSFW fact: tickling was once considered an aphrodisiac in the Muscovite palaces and courts for centuries. In fact, both Catherine the Great and Anna Ivanovna were ardent participants. Ticklers sang naughty ballads and told lewd stories whilst tickling their ladies' feet, working their mistresses up into an erotic frenzy with which to meet their husbands or partners. From personal experience I can say this works with overwhelming results. I can attest, after being together a few years with my girlfriend, who loves to hate hates to love it, that nothing gets her in the mood faster. If you have not seen the documentary Tickled, I highly recommend it. No spoilers, but it starts off hilarious in its absurdity before nosediving into darkness. I unironically recommend it to anyone who felt the same way about Tiger King's bizarre story. To me, Tickled documentary is far better than Tiger King, but yes, definitely part of a similar theme. It is the type of story that would now be a podcast dragged out to about 4 to 5 too many episodes, but was brilliant in a documentary format. 100% recommend. As a woman is about to orgasm, the vagina decreases in size by as much as 30%. This contraction helps to increase the sensitivity felt by the woman as she climaxes into the orgasm. Edit: the contractions also enhance the man's pleasure and keeps any discharged sperm into place for potential fertilization as the vagina grips tighter around the penis. There is erectile tissue in the nose, similar to the corpus spongiosum in the penis, and the clitoris. It will also become engorged with blood when aroused, and can cause sneezing. What is weird is that I sneeze every time I get aroused. Every time. Thankfully, few people know this is a thing. No one knows this about me, and even if they did, I have allergies, so I can blame it on that. So whenever you see someone sneeze, they could actually be turned on. So while making out, if someone sneezes in your face, forgive them because it is a compliment. Edited to add, because I also get nosebleeds during my period. I used to think it was endometriosis, which is extremely rare to be in the nose. Researching that is how I found out about this. After reading the comments here, I'm guessing this is more common than any one of us knew. We just thought we were alone, because no one talks about stuff like this. Link. Breast implants turn into a sticky goo during cremation. Crematorium workers need to clean the goo off the bottom of the furnace after her body has been cremated. Seems like it would be easier to cut them out first, and Cleveland Cremation states the same. Silicone breast implants are often removed prior to the cremation process, since cremains have been found to adhere to the implants. Link. Mozart wrote pieces called Lick My Ass Right Well and Clean K. 233 and Lick My Ass K. 231 for 6 voices. He also wrote a letter to his cousin. Well, I wish you good night. But first shit in your bed and make it burst. Sleep soundly, my love. Into your mouth your ass you will shove. During my mom's pregnancy with me, she was writing an 8-person Buffy the Vampire Slayer orgy fanfic. She warned me that if I was ever caught watching porn she would make me do a book report on it. Very few things scare me as much as having to read my mom's erotica. Edit: to respond to the 2 main questions. My mom didn't want me watching porn till I was an adult, and I was never caught, so I never read it or wrote a report.